Dude, we went live already? Didn't even know that. All right, we're on, I guess. What's going on? We made it out here. Day 44, about to be 13% complete. That means 13,000 repetitions after today. Today, we are headed to Vegas. So for a soccer tournament showcase in Vegas with my oldest son. So flight is in the afternoon. It's 11:44 here Eastern time, Michigan. And we're getting after this. We're about to get after this. Want to get a workout in it. My routine's going to be messed up. Coming up, we got to be working out in the hotel gym or in the hotel room. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. But today, okay, well, here's why we're doing it. We're doing the vegan 300 repetitions to signify or bring awareness that 300 pounds of meat are eaten every single year by the average person. And so no animals or meat or any pounds of meat need to be eaten to be strong, fit, or healthy. So I'm showing you that. James Rogers is who we're responding to today. James has, I think, 3 comments on my channel here in the past couple days. Well, 11 days ago is the first one, but I did respond to James, I think, talking about forcing beliefs or forcing my veganism way onto people. So let's go with the most recent one. He said, I can respect your drive to not eat meat. I disagree. I think that it meant to see. I disagree with it, but I see where you're coming from. Go with God, friend. So first, it's really not about respect or drive for me to eat meat. It's really a respect, or I mean, it's a drive to not want to kill any animals or commodify them or be against that. And I would think that anyone who's God-like or Christian-like or, follows God's principles or Christian principles wouldn't want to harm or kill another being if they didn't have to. So that's my answer to that. And then 11 days ago, he said specifically forcing anything in the name of Jesus is incorrect. So again, talking about forcing, the only thing that is forcing or that we're forcing by what we purchase, we're forcing the animals into the slaughterhouses to be killed. That's the only thing that's being forced. I'm not forcing my views. I'm not forcing veganism. I'm not forcing you to eat plants. I'm not forcing you to quit eating animals. Can't force you. But these animals are certainly being forced. That's what I have to say on that. The entire point of Christianity is that free will given by a loving God. So a loving God, why would a loving God want to kill and cause pain and suffering to animals, to his creations? That's mind-blowing. Is used to give others to God and not force a specific lifestyle. Again, not forcing a lifestyle. I'm certainly encouraging you to think differently, to reconnect back with the animals, God's creations, all of them, and not think that it's okay or because God ate meat or God fished or Jesus fished or whatever you want to tie to the Bible or to what you know about Christianity, that it's okay to kill and eat certain animals and not others. Jesus says we are to love others into the arms of God. Sure, love others. Love others into the arm of God. That's all good things. Not by force or by coercion. Certainly not forcing or coercing anyone, but living a Christian like or Christ-like life. So again, this goes back to my original question: is how would Jesus kill an animal, or how would God kill an animal if he didn't have to, if it's not necessary? So that's the big key takeaways. It's not 40 degrees in here, it's 25 degrees in here. So that's cold. I think it's supposed to get warm up. But day 44, you believe it? 13,000. We're 13% complete. I remember being like 1%. You know, it's a long ways away. So I got to pack. I don't want to bring too much. Just doing a carry-on. But that's it. All right, so James Rogers, I appreciate your respecting my drive to not eat meat, but it's a drive to treat all animals with respect. All animals. And how do you respectfully kill an animal that doesn't want to die, doesn't need to die? Can't do that. That doesn't make much sense. So, again, I think the religion thing and people that come across this that are very into Jesus and God and Christianity, I like it, but it's certainly conflicting. It is certainly very conflicting. And it's not like you can't be a vegan Christian. It's not like you can't be a vegan atheist. You can't be a vegan anything. It's not like you can't. You can be a vegan. Vegan is a philosophy. It's a moral principle saying that we don't want to exploit or harm or kill animals that don't need to die. You know. So, James Rogers, I appreciate your respect. Again, it's more of a drive to treat all animals equally, right? Or think that all animals have their own right or should have their own right to their own life. And us exploiting that's not respectful. So I'm not sure if why or how you disagree with you disagree with it. You disagree with my drive not to eat animals, but you see where I'm coming from. So I think that's the first step. You see where it's coming from, but I'd love to understand a little further about how you disagree with. So my last question to James, and if he comes across this, is what do you specifically disagree with about not eating animals or not wanting to kill animals when it's unnecessary? I really want to know what specifically you disagree with. All right, let's get this workout over with. Let's get this workout over with. Let's see, okay. There's my comments. Good. Come on, we're good. All right. Oh, we got some cardboard issue here. Can see that. 25 pounds still. We're still going with the 25 pounds. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining and then leaving. That's okay. If you come across this, I think as soon as you see quit eating animals, the message is already sent. You got to process the message, and then you can figure out why or how I'm doing it if you're interested in it, but you gotta process it. You gotta process the message, process the 3 words, how I'm forcing you to be vegan. No, not really. I don't want to force anybody to be vegan. It's not sustainable that way. You force somebody to work out. It's not sustainable. They're not going to they're not going to stick with it. I was like, what is going on, dude? I can hear the radio going outside. All right, here we go. We're about to do this. Let's go. What is going on? There we go. All right, let's go. Let's do it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. I was thinking maybe I do 300 burpees and not use the weight. Maybe I'll do that in the hotel. Two rounds in. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halfway. All right, we got 5 more rounds to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I was also thinking doing 150, strict push-up and then a squat. So that'll give me my 300 reps. It's also sort of a burpee, but yeah, maybe we'll do that. Right, that'll give me a couple days with no weight. Maybe let my elbow heal a little bit. I'm gonna still think about it, but that's what I'm leaning towards. All right, round 7, or finish round 7. This is round 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8 rounds through. Need 2 more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'All right, finishing up round 9. All right, there's our round 9. We got one more round to go. Here we go, last round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. 100. All right, last 10 cal on the row. We'll be done. 100. 25, 45. 100 cows. 100 vegan. 300. You saw it. You saw the movements. But now I'm in a little predicament traveling. So I think what I decided to do when I'm in the hotel is do a burpee, maybe with a squat. So strict push up with a burpee. And we'll see if that, that'll get me at my 300 reps. So that'll be good. Okay. We have to leave no later than 1:30. So let's do it. I got an hour. You're full of it. At this point, you say the same thing over and over. It doesn't change, my friend. And this is verse of the day real. This is another religious YouTuber that wanted to comment and, talk about following God and Jesus. Jesus ate meat. Jesus fished or ate fish, gave fish. Regardless of all that, the principles, the moral principles the baseline of morality, the golden rule is to treat others how you want to be treated, and animals are certainly others. You can't be a speciesist. That's the root of all racism, sexism, racism, but speciesism, saying that our species can do whatever we want with other species. That's what happens. And that's what a lot of people think. They're just pigs. They're just deer. They're just chickens. But those chickens, those deer, those pigs, all are sentient. They have an experience, right? And what happens to them matters to them. They have a will to survive, and we're just doing what we want with them. And again, it's not necessary for us to live. We have a will to survive too. And vegans are doing it as best as they can without contributing to killing and eating animals or killing and using animals for our benefit. And this, and anybody who hunts or shoots deer, shoots animals, consumes them, it's for taste and pleasure. Because you can get all the nutrients, everything that you need from plants. So you're only doing it for taste and pleasure. It's not necessary. So again, is that God-like? Is that Christian-like? Is that Christ-like? And nobody is forcing anybody to be vegan. Nobody's forcing you to quit eating animals. I'm certainly encouraging you to. because it's the right decision. And not looking at it from my perspective, look at it from the victim's perspective. You know, is your taste and pleasure more important than that animal's life? And that's to you. How about to that animal? You think that animal would agree that your taste and pleasure are more important than their life? No. No, they have a brain, they have a central nervous system, they feel pain, they can suffer, and they have a self-interest into not wanting to suffer, not wanting to be caused pain. So, similarly to verse of the day, real. He says, I'm full of it at this point. You know what I'm not full of? Dead animals. That's what I'm not full of. My body is not consuming and not full of the dead flesh or the flesh of dead animals. That's what it is not. And so you can say that that's Christ-like. That's living is in Christ-like, and forget about, like, what do you say? Giving loving God is used to give others to God. Right. I mean, sure. But we certainly are not treating the animals with respect and kindness, which is what I believe a true God, a real God, a loving Christ, a loving Jesus would want us to do. That's all. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's it. There's nothing, this isn't anything that changes. He said the same thing over and over. It doesn't change. It never has changed. Never. Never has changed. Actually, you know what? It has changed. When we needed to hunt to survive, when we needed to hunt to survive because there was no plants, you couldn't get all your nutrients and everything you needed from plants. That's, to me, that would be acceptable. That would be the best thing, again, the best thing that you could possibly do, like as best you can. But it's 2026. If you live in the United States, or if you don't live on a remote island, you can do this. There's literally no good justification or excuse to continue to kill animals for food. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for the like. I don't get many of them. People are not happy with me when they come across this and hear me talking about, or forcing my beliefs on them. They certainly are not happy with that. Because that's possible, right? Because you can force someone to believe something, and you can force them by using God or using Christ. No, dude, come on. But look at this. He says, you're full of it at this point. You say the same thing over and over. And then I said, it doesn't change, my friend. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. It never will change. And if it does change, I'll be the first to change my whole channel. And I'll say, continue eating animals instead of quit eating animals the moment it changes. But it's not going to change. But the moment it does, I'll change the channel to continue eating animals. I'll do it just for you. Okay? All right, so I don't understand how anyone can disagree with veganism and not wanting to exploit and use animals for our benefit, our taste, our pleasure, our use. I don't understand why people can't, they disagree with that. I don't understand. You might not do it. You might not want to do it, but I don't understand how you can disagree with it. You disagree with it because it's convenient for you. And sure, how can you not respect the drive to not want to kill animals? I mean, to me, that's the moral baseline, right? If they're sentient, they have the ability to suffer and they have self-interest in not wanting to suffer, not wanting to cause pain, because they have a brain, they have a central nervous system, they have pain receptors, they have eyes, they have ears, they have a nose, they have a mouth. I mean, these are animals. These they have an experience. So why, and again, why would Christ or God or Jesus want these animals to be killed and eaten for our benefit? For what? For what? These are God's creations, and we're doing whatever we want with them. That's speciesism. And speciesism is just like racism, right? Thinking that one race is better than all the other races, just like sexism, one sex is better than all the other sexes. And then they treat them like such. They treat them as if their race or their species is so much better and we can do what we want to them. And that's not moral. That's not the right thing to do. That is not Christ-like. That's not Jesus-like. That's not God-like. Any God that I would want to follow certainly wouldn't be doing that. All right. So nobody's forcing you to do anything. Nobody's forcing you to quit eating animals, but I certainly encourage you to do the research and understand that you can be strong, fit, and healthy without eating any animals whatsoever. All right. And I believe that God, Christ, Jesus, all do not want you to continue to kill and treat animals for your taste and pleasure. That's it. You know, you're not doing it for survival. You're not doing it because you have to. You're doing it because it tastes good. You're doing it because it's tradition. You're doing it because that's what everyone else is doing. But go against the grain. Go against everybody else, man. Be the first in your group to step up and be like, you know what? This is wrong. I'm going to figure this out. Be the first one. Be the first one in your group. Hey, thanks for watching. You drop a comment, I'll post it. I'll respond to it. I got to catch a flight here in an hour, though, but I don't have a lot of time. Headed to Vegas. Soccer, baby. Soccer showcase. But want to get a quick workout in. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be doing burpees. I might be doing 150 strict push-up burpees, then with a squat. 150 of those 2 reps will give me the 300. So we'll see what day 45 looks like, but that's what I got. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. No comments today, but I know you guys are listening. I did get a like, so I appreciate that, whoever that was. All right. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, day 45. All right. Have a great day. Peace.